In today's video, I'm going to try my best to be positive, to try and provide some hope for us under Amorim. I don't want any United manager to be sacked, but they've got to earn the faith from the fans, and they've got to earn the time at the club. Amorim has always talked about not changing. Well, simply put, if he doesn't do something fast, things aren't going to change. The most frustrating thing about him is that he's made some tweaks in the past, and they've seemed to work. But then he abandons them the following week and goes back to things that don't really work. And that's why in this video I'm not coming on you asking for wholesale changes. As much as I might want him to change the formation drastically, I know he's not going to do that. But he's made some tweaks in previous games at United, and I think we could do well going back to those now. The Bournemouth pre-season game is a great example. We played some lovely fluid stuff in that game. United used a little bit of a 3-4-3 system, having that diamond in midfield, but it was never seen again. This formation has cropped up a couple of times under Amorim. Another time I can remember was the Bucharest game in the Europa League. United using this sort of setup, and out of this setup then you can do a few things. It means you can allow a number of your attacking players to find positions that they're a lot more comfortable in. You're looking at Ahmad. He has the ability to roam in field if he's in that number 10 position. Whoever it is though, Mbeumo or Ahmad, they're able to roam into these 10 positions if they want to. But then they can also peel out wide as well. When Mount was there, he was able to come inside in the middle of the pitch in a more familiar area. Fernandes, when he's there, allowing Casemiro to do that holding role. Fernandes has a little bit more of a free role. He can go a bit further forward. He can venture into the middle of the pitch. You can swap the roles around a little bit. You can push Fernandes into where Mount is. You can have Mino where Fernandes is. Again, getting the best players in their best positions. But this sort of diamond formation that we had in that pre-season game did work really well. Obviously, the amount of flexibility you've got in that shape as well did really work. But going into the Prem season, where's it gone?
All right then, keep your secrets.
It was the same against Villa at the end of last year as well. We had this nice shape about us. We had a lovely freedom for the attacking players. But then again, as soon as the next game comes around, absolutely abandons it. And all of a sudden, United look far more rigid. We can talk about the touches in the box and the shots United have had so far this season as much as we want. But simply put, United aren't scoring goals from open play. And have struggled to do that for 10 months now. The reliance on direct attacking does need to change. From settled play, it's clear that we aren't getting our best players in their best positions. Far too often, we're asking Dogu to be prime Ryan Giggs, and that man Dogu is far more of a fullback than he is a wingback. And then on the other side of it as well, Amorim has far often been too conservative with his wingback options. It was the same last year, and it's been the same this season as well. He only does it up against certain opposition, picking when and choosing when to put Ahmad in that right wingback spot. United look far better attacking-wise with him in there. So can we now just risk a little bit? We're not winning games anyway, so put Ahmad in there all the time. Risk it a little bit, get more attacking options on the pitch. Maybe then we can start to see a little bit more fluidity in that final third. Because even in the derby, the Mazraoui and Mbeumo partnership, while they looked like twins, they played as if they've never seen each other before. And going back to Dogu and getting our best players in our best positions. We talk about Fernandes all the time, and even reporters now are starting to question Amorim in the press conferences why he keeps playing him deeper in midfield. Especially now you've got Cunha out. Can you push Fernandes forward, get Mino in that midfield? It seems the far more solid option. You're getting players in their best positions. Surely it's just much more balanced that way. And at the end of the day, we need to start changing these stats. Start finding more of our dangerous players in the best positions. Seshko isn't doing much in these situations up against a gang of defenders. And this has been United's problem far too often this season. Exactly the same up against Arsenal. The ball ends up out wide. Far too often at Dogu's feet, but still for him. Even if he's crossing the ball in here, who's he got to aim it at? Again, against Bournemouth in pre-season, United were able to get more players in the box and automatically looked far more of a goal threat. There was a number of instances where they got 2, 3, 4 players in that Bournemouth box. We need to see that more often in the Premier League. Those are some of the small changes I can think of in possession for United. It's clear off the ball that something drastic needs to change. We keep going away from that 4-4-2 press, instead reverting back to the 5-2-3 mid-block. It's never worked. And United's players, despite having 10 months now of training under Amorim, still don't quite seem to know what their roles are in that mid-block. For Fernandes to point that out after the game against City is not a good look on the manager. One of the biggest defences of Amorim last season was that he needed time on the training pitch. Playing on a Thursday, playing on a Sunday, he didn't have that time. Well, now you're playing one game a week. You've had the pre-season. What's the excuse now? Because still we've had this amount of training time. Things haven't changed on the pitch. It's still utter chaos defensively. The 5-2-3 mid-block, we did it throughout pre-season. We've done it throughout the Prem season now. And I said after that Fulham game, if Iwobi and co can cause that much carnage up against United's back line, then imagine what City are going to do. And then City showed exactly what they could do up against us on the weekend. Those were some of the small changes I could think of in and out of possession for Amorim at United. But now I'm going to throw something a little bit bigger out there. I don't expect Amorim to do it, but it's an option. And it's one that I can't believe we haven't even tried. The 3-5-2. I'm amazed United haven't at least tried it in certain games. You're getting Mino in that midfield. You're getting Fernandes in his best position. And you're solidifying the centre of the pitch up a little bit more. We know teams play through United's centre of the pitch far too easily these days under Amorim. So playing this formation, you would seemingly have some help in there anyway. And Buemo then, you can get him playing very much a similar role to what he's doing now. Have him as that number 10, really advanced, playing on the last line of defence. Think that would suit him. Amorim, you can still keep that back five in there. That's not a problem. But surely you've got to try something like this. Try and be a little bit more flexible. We've seen it work very well for Inzaghi into this formation. So you can keep that back five, just something a little bit different. But as I've said, I can't see Amorim going for it. I don't think any top-flight manager can show such little flexibility and be successful. If Amorim does turn his fortunes round now in the next couple of months, great. But what happens then in a year or so when teams find new ways, find new counters for his system? When he's forced to adapt again, what happens then? You've got to constantly move with the times. Top managers constantly show this. I've seen Alonso go to Madrid after he so staunchly used that five at the back formation at Bayer Leverkusen. He's gone to Madrid, he's shown instances where he can use that formation again, but he's also shown instances where he can use the 4-3-3. He's learned to adapt to the squad that he has. Inzaghi's gone to his new team. Doesn't automatically just start using the same formation that he had at Inter Milan. No, he's shown he's willing to adapt. And that's what top-level coaching is all about, surely. Getting the best out of the players you currently have. It's clear United, even after spending 200 million, still have far and away not the best players for Amorim's system. Whether even if we copied and pasted the best players seemingly for his system, put them in there in the Premier League, we still don't even know whether that's going to work. But surely now, with the squad that he has, with the results that we're currently having, you've got to make some changes. And he's so passionate about it, coming out saying, I'm not going to change. You've got to change the man before you change the tactics. Well, then you forcing United's hand, really. And that's the bit I don't really understand. Yes, it's lovely, it's great. You could have that gimmick that we're going to suffer last season and come out saying we're going to be better this season. Well, we're not seeing that. We can cling on to some XG stats, the shots, as much as we want. Teams are still finding it far too easy to score against us, and we are still finding it very hard to score from open play. I just don't see where this situation really improves unless Amorim is willing to make some changes. Much like Ten Hag, if things don't change, then you are forcing the higher-ups' hand. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Do you think United are on the course under Amorim, or do you think it's time for a change? Let me know. As always, guys, drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new around here. I'll catch you in the next one.